He says he told me, and my guy Jordan is over there. He said, now they're gonna come for you. I said, can't come for me for what? I didn't say anything.
Right.
He said they're gonna come, and they're gonna say a lot of different things, and they're gonna be some people that you thought you might be able to get that they're not gonna come now.
Right.
And that's absolutely has happened.
All of these big
Because I asked said, Katt was accused you of stealing a joke. Said I didn't steal the joke because the timeline doesn't match up. And I think he said something to the effect, if you look at how his joke ended, how mine ended. Katt came back, he refuted that. I want credibility.
Back in January 2024, Shannon Sharpe had no idea he was about to spark the most explosive moment of his media career. Club Shay Shay was already picking up momentum, but that Katt Williams interview, that launch sent the show into a whole new stratosphere. And it didn't go viral because it was hilarious. It blew up because it was bold and confrontational. Katt sat there, calm, collected, and completely unfazed, calling out comedy heavyweights most people wouldn't dare say out loud. Steve Harvey, D.L. Hewley, Cedric the Entertainer. No hesitation, no sugarcoating. And Shannon, he didn't interrupt, he didn't redirect, he let it play out. Fans praised Shannon for letting the conversation breathe. Critics argued he should have pushed back harder. But here's what many missed. Katt actually warned Shannon, straight to his face. He said once that episode caught fire, powerful people would feel threatened, and the blowback wouldn't be loud, it would be silent. Closed doors, lost opportunities. Shannon laughed it off. The show was booming. What could really go wrong? But success has a way of hiding consequences. Within weeks, the vibe around Shannon shifted. Guests started backing out, conversations slowed, people who once showed interest suddenly went quiet. On the surface, Club Shay Shay was thriving, but behind the scenes, resistance was building. And slowly, Katt's warning stopped sounding dramatic. It started sounding accurate. Months later, Shannon finally addressed it during a conversation with Cam Newton, confused, frustrated, and candid. He made one thing clear: he's not a journalist, he's a conversationalist. His role is to create space and let people speak freely.
Or how many times have you watched a Katt Williams interview yourself? Damn.
Maybe. Now I'm trying to think, Cam, I think I don't really like to watch them back because I'm absorbing it as they're speaking. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, and I think I went back and I watched like 30 minutes of it, and I just like damn. Cause I went back and I'm like, damn, he said that? Where was I? He was saying so much,
right,
that I'm like, but Kim, I didn't know it was gonna cause this kind of ripple. Mm. I didn't think it was gonna move me in the direction. I'm glad it did. I understand what comes along with that. But if you remember, he said it. He said this is gonna put you in another dimension.
He definitely did.
He said,
but my mama said, boy, there's power in the tongue.
Yes. He told me, and my guy Jordan is over there. He said, now they're gonna come for you. I said, can't come for me for what? I didn't say anything.
Right.
He said they're gonna come, and they're gonna say a lot of different things, and they're gonna be some people that you thought you might be able to get that they're not gonna come now.
Right.
And that's absolutely has happened. That's absolutely has happened. They were so excited. Thanks for reaching out. We can't wait to sit down. And a day later, they can't do it, and then no call. They won't follow, so forth and so on. So I understand what comes along with an interview like that. Did I expect it? No. Did I expect all the negativity that came along? Because, I had Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey did 8 million views, had Coach Prime, I've had a lot of comedians. Right. And some of the comedians had taken shots at other comedians, but nothing like this. I didn't expect the vitriol to come, especially from some of the people, and I'm not gonna say we were friends, but I'm saying we were cordial, we were friendly towards each other. Some people that I've kind of helped behind the scenes, and to see them attack, I wouldn't have let him do this, I wouldn't have said that. But you know what? It took me a long time, Cam, because when you play sports, you understand that Atlanta fans, even though you're from Atlanta, they're gonna have a little resentment towards you because you beating their team, right? Or certain fan bases are gonna feel a certain type of way. And I felt that the better the player, the more vitriol and hate he's gonna get from opposing fans. I got that. But in this situation, I can honestly say I did not expect the level of vitriol and the suddenness. That's what really got me, the suddenness, because it was like when Cam dropped, it was like
Katt.
I keep calling him. When Katt dropped,
right,
it's like all of a sudden he gay now.
Yeah.
Shannon admitted the backlash shook him. Celebrities were upset. Some were reportedly discouraged from appearing on the show. Then it got personal. Quiet rumors questioning his character started circulating. That, he said, hurt more than the professional fallout. Here's where it gets tricky. Shannon feels like he paid the price for someone else's words. He's hosted plenty of guests who've made claims later challenged or disputed. Ricky Smiley? Katt himself later pushed back publicly. Shannon's logic is simple. When someone's had a long career, he assumes they're speaking from lived experience. But the question still lingers. Should Shannon have seen this coming, or was he genuinely blindsided by how fast the industry turned on him?
Club Shay Shay, yeah. I was trying to do something there that hadn't been done. I thought that I had figured out the algorithm mathematically, and I thought that I could show that. And when I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people I was talking about, right? But it was so vicious that I erased all of the knockout blows and just left the jabs so that the comic I'm talking about knows that I know your real story. I'm gonna tell this, but you know what else I know. So, yeah, I was...
Do you want to tell any of those stories now?
Well, I'm saying...
And here's the part that stands out. Katt wasn't reckless. He was calculated, prepared, almost resigned to the outcome. Years outside Hollywood's inner circle taught him how the system really works. Silence is power. Loyalty is enforced quietly. Step out of line, and suddenly you're the problem. And the response didn't take long. Steve Harvey drops a cryptic line about eloquent liars. D.L. Hughley openly takes shots at Shannon.
It looks like Steve Harvey still hasn't forgiven Shannon Sharpe for giving Katt Williams a platform to diss him. So Steve Harvey was on the Pivot podcast earlier this week, and on the podcast, he called Shannon Sharpe disloyal and clickbaity in so many words. So Steve Harvey is still upset that the Katt Williams and Club Shay Shay interview did about 90 million views and counting. Is the most watched interview in YouTube history. And Katt Williams in that interview, for a large chunk of it, is calling Steve Harvey disloyal, calling Steve Harvey a snake, making accusations that Steve Harvey snaked a couple of his friends. Is not a good look for Steve Harvey at all. And Steve Harvey knows he could do 1 million interviews up until his death, correcting whatever Katt Williams said on that interview. But the interview just did so many views that it don't matter like how many interviews Steve Harvey do, it would never reach the audience that Katt Williams reached when Katt Williams was going off on him. So here's what Steve Harvey had to say on the Pivot podcast about Shannon Sharpe.
Y'all got a podcast and you're doing it brilliantly. Please don't stop doing the way you do. See, the problem with people is they get something that work and then they want to find something that work better. You ain't got to fix it if it ain't broke. See, I'm on radio for real. I have a real radio show. I have the #1 adult contemporary show, 25 to 54 in America. The Steve Harvey Morning Show. I'm at 112 markets. I got 9 million listeners. I'm controlled by FCC rules. The problem is, these people go get these podcasts who have no FCC rules to abide by. But you have to remember, even though you're on a podcast, you still got a brand.
Yeah.
And so you can't say what you want to say and expect to be relevant and not get canceled. You can't have a podcast and the way that you think you can make money is on clicks and views at the expense of others and not expect to have to pay the expense. You can't have a podcast and light me up and don't expect to get lit up. You can't have a podcast, let somebody come on your show and talk about your friends.
So obviously that's a reference to Shannon Sharpe. Now he makes it more obvious later on by just outright saying Shannon Sharpe's name, but he's referring to what Katt Williams said about him on Shannon Sharpe's podcast. If you guys forgot, well, let me remind you what Katt Williams had to say about Steve Harvey on Club Shay Shay.
The same Steve that went to
What made this Katt Williams interview so potent for a lot of Katt Williams enemies is because whatever Katt Williams said, you could do a quick Google search and figure out he wasn't lying. Because when Katt Williams said this about Steve Harvey, all people had to do was just pull up what Mark Curry said about Steve Harvey not so long before.
So what's up with you and Steve, man?
Ain't nothing with me. Well, Steve stole my material on his show, so I had a beef on that.
On what show?
When he was on his the talk show he had, and he did all my Halloween material one Halloween. I'm watching. Somebody called me and said, "Man, homeboy doing your material." So he did my whole Halloween run. And I know he didn't think of it. You know, this is true stuff that really happened to me. And so my thing is, you didn't have to do that, homeboy.
Right.
So, you know, you made enough money. You know,
Wow.
You made enough money. You did enough. You know, why are you on my material?
Right.
You know, what's that about?
These weren't just jokes, they were signals. Lines were being drawn. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Both men were right. Katt spoke his truth. Shannon gave him the mic. But in Hollywood, intentions don't matter. Disruption does. Club Shay Shay proved it could shake narratives, and once that happened, it became something that needed to be controlled. Things got messier when people started connecting dots that were never officially connected. The original interview didn't link Shannon to any scandals, but Katt had predicted 2024 would be a year of exposure. Later on, headlines started lining up a little too neatly with that claim. Old posts resurfaced, deleted tweets hinted at parties and awkward moments. Nothing confirmed, nothing directly tied to Shannon. But once rumors start moving, they don't need proof, they just need repetition. Suddenly, Shannon was part of conversations he never initiated, simply for hosting the wrong discussion at the wrong time. Club Shay Shay stopped being just a podcast. It became a platform with influence. And influence without permission, that's dangerous in tightly controlled industries. Shannon broke it down simply. Editing out statements would be a disservice. Guests deserve to speak, and others deserve the chance to respond. Most interviews run in full, unless something truly harmful is said. He balances sports, culture, research, and social issues. And then there's the Katt episode, nearing 6 million views. Not just views, power, reach, leverage. But the industry's reaction wasn't loud outrage, it was quiet isolation. Fewer invitations, subtle distancing. Shannon followed the rules. He didn't attack anyone, he didn't make anything up, and still he felt the consequences. Resentment doesn't explode, it simmers. Not necessarily toward Katt, but toward the reality Katt exposed. Shannon may feel trapped in a fight he never signed up for. Katt likely knew this outcome was inevitable, Both things can be true. And when you zoom out, the pattern is familiar. Whenever Hollywood whispers, pulls back, or lets rumors circulate, the same system shows up. Katt didn't accuse, he predicted. Power moves through influence, private alliances, and exclusive rooms. Stories travel quietly for years. Invitations mean access. Attendance means protection. Absence raises questions. And consistency? That's what keeps the conversation alive.
No, not they offered him $50 million and he turned it down.
Once the episode went viral and the fallout kicked in, viewers did what the internet does best. They started lining up timelines. Names Katt hinted at already had long-standing ties within private industry circles. Not accusations, not evidence, just proximity. And in Hollywood, proximity alone is enough to spark speculation. Hosting a conversation that shakes power structures, that's all it takes to get pulled into the orbit. Narratives don't always grow from facts, they grow from association. And here's the part that really caught attention. Katt's predictions started looking uncomfortably accurate. Exposure, reckoning, so-called untouchables suddenly facing questions. Almost overnight, Shannon wasn't just a podcast host, he became the guy who handed the mic to uncomfortable truths. Online sleuths dug through old clips, photos, and connections. Nothing solid, no confirmations, just curiosity. And that's where things get dangerous.
You had a moment on Club Shay Shay, a couple months back. And that right there was a moment that kind of lifted, shot a shooting star for Shannon, right? And just that ecosystem of conversations. And you were very candid, but you were very peaceful while you're saying these things, right? A lot of kind of sound bites came out of that. That single moment to me, like I say, changed Shannon's whole conglomerate that he got going on. It brought more awareness and more attention. Maybe more
biggest
than
interview of the year.
That was one of the biggest ones, I would say.
The biggest interview in YouTube history. So those aren't the same things.
They're not the same things.
Yeah.
But even with that being said, I don't think he was ready for that moment. Like, how did that, from an outsider, how did that change his life at that moment And how did that change your life at that moment? Not your life in general, but at that moment, how did life change?
The interview had to go to somebody. If I know beforehand what I'm capable of delivering, then I also know to be judicious in who I'm picking to get that. If I know Katt, he's only comfortable if he got the drop on you when he come to get interviewed anyway, because he wants to make sure that you don't flip on him. But all Shannon was gonna get was a blessing, and that was all I was there to make sure that happened.
You ain't got to drop on anybody here, do you?
I need to know something.
This is the blessing. This is the blessing part of those interviews, you know? It's the blessing part of that podcast.
Right. Well, I'm saying in my personal business, you can either do the dirt or you can know the dirt. I'm one of the chosen high-ranked know the dirt individuals, right? And so dirt responds as they should when the vacuum walks in.
Come on, are you a rapper? You rap on the side?
Clearly, sir, yeah. No, I still rap currently. No, I'm saying currently. Yeah. But my point was that I came to deliver an interview having seen some of my competitors and peers get on that same court and do a performance that involved my name. And so once 6 or 7 of you have made this same violation, it's my job as the king to show up and chastise thee. This is my job. I'm supposed to come in and restore order because that's my position. The fact that it's ignored by the clowns because they're all in the same frat, comedically, like, that's all well and good. I don't care nothing about none of that, but the job still needs to be done. And if God lets me know it's a good time for that, that's how I'm going to write it up and deliver it. So I didn't know anything Shannon was going to say. I didn't know what questions he was going to ask. Like there was no conversation. Yeah.
When people believe someone knows more than they're saying, speculation rushes in to fill the silence. Shannon's frustration makes sense. He's stuck inside a story he never meant to tell. Katt saw this coming. He's lived through being misunderstood, sidelined, and reframed by the same system. To him, backlash is proof the message landed. To Shannon, it feels like consequences without a fair hearing. The facts are simple. Shannon gave someone a platform. Katt spoke openly. The industry responded exactly the way Katt said it would. Careers shifted, relationships cooled, and rumors replaced honest conversation.
That eye is powerful.
Let me tell you something, man. Like, the fallout from that interview, it almost felt like prophecy for a lot of people. Like, it was my first time hearing those things.
Yeah.
And I didn't do no Googles or wasn't really in social media or keeping up on any of that stuff. I look at it and be like, it felt like prophecy. Like, as the year went on, things that you said in that interview, headline after headline.
You mean like Diddy going to jail or TD Jakes stepping down? Which one?
I mean, it was all there. It was all there. And then, like, every time you see like hashtag Katt was right, Katt tried. They have the clip.
I'm only trying to tell the truth.
How many of those you get a day though? Katt was right.
I don't look at it like that. I don't own the information. I'm very firm that I'm on God's side. So consequently, it's never a problem trying to be humble. I'm always humble. Like, I know why I'm special.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I connect to that source every day. Me and God are in a conversation about this adventure that I'm on and how this can go, and him giving me these opportunities like with this Shannon thing to speak globally and to show the fact that my words and your words are not the same. I can say some things articulately for a long period of time and still be saying something. And at the end of the day, little boy, nobody's checking for you because you're not liable to say nothing.
Right.
You're either not allowed to say nothing because of the relationships you have in business, or you're not man enough to do it, or your friends is so you feel allegiance to, but for whatever those reasons are. Neutrality is what you don't get to have. Pick a side, right? And so when I'm talking about these Illuminati conversations, that's just to get those things out there in real conversation. I didn't invent these things, and I'm not the reason they exist, but my job as a public official is to find out what the truth is about things and reveal that to us that care about that sort of thing.
Why is it that there's not as many people like you that will come out and say, yo, listen, I don't give a is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Because they'll kill you. And it's not a joke, and it's not like, no, because a life doesn't mean anything to them. It's easy for them to do. They're adept at doing a ditty, getting rid of you and not having no handprints on it. Like this is how they traffic. And so you will have to really not be scared, not be acting like you're not scared. You'd have to really be too stupid to be scared. You see what I'm saying? I'm backed by God, so I don't even know how to have the fear you need me to have.
But it's that stupidity. That ain't stupid if you backed by God.
Hey, I just put it out there for the idiots to have something to grasp onto. But what I'm saying is, if my only belief is in God, then how I'm gonna be scared?
So the real question isn't whether Katt derailed Shannon's career, it's whether Shannon truly understood how fragile success becomes once uncomfortable conversations go public. And if silence is the price of survival in this industry, how many people are actually willing to risk everything just to break it?